Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's Nippy back again with another Slooch 2 production. This video, I want to share a personal story that's been on my mind since it happened around 7 years ago. Before I go any further, I'm going to have to preface a mandatory trigger warning to anyone watching this video who's been a victim of SA. So, before I even start, let me preface this by saying I never wanted to share this story, let alone make a video about it, but as it turns out, people keep telling me in the comments to share my story, as it could be impactful for those who have experienced something like that too. So, here I am, and it feels good to finally get this off my chest. Because, honestly, it's just been such an enormous weight to carry. Well, before I can really get into that, I just have to say, if you guys know a victim of SA, you should definitely encourage them to share their stories too, hashtag #MeToo. And for those that don't know, the #MeToo movement is basically like a social movement awareness campaign against sexual abuse and sexual harassment and all that kind of stuff. Of course, only ask the victim if they're comfortable, but honestly, getting it off their chest could do them some good, so yeah, anyways, let's try to make the best impact we can right now by having others share their story. So, yeah, anyway, let me preface this by saying, this happened at, grade school, more specifically my old school. Also, let me say that for privacy purposes of the victim, I won't disclose what school it was, nor will I tell you too much about it, just for the privacy, all that stuff. So, now, it's important to understand that this is quite a heavy topic for me, so I do apologize if I keep beating around the bush. This all happened so long ago, but it really has taken a toll on me both physically, mentally, and psychologically. So, anyways, without further ado, let's just get into the story. So, 10 years ago, my woodworking teacher, let's just call him John Doe. So, on, the first day of school, I could tell Mr. Doe was quite different. I'm not talking about good differences. I'm talking about bad differences. And I may have only been 14 years old at the time, but even 10 years ago, I had a good head on my shoulders. So anyways, fast forward a bit into the year. And before we go any further, this video is proudly sponsored by Sturdy Off Box Fights and Fortnite Creative. This is where all the pros go to practice their editing, aim training, and all the such. You can try Sturdy Off Box Fights by using the island code 4181 4382 7189 4387 9081 3481 9404. Again, huge shout out to Sturdy Off Box Fights Fortnite Creative for sponsoring this video. Anyways, back to the video. So yeah, it was a school night around August 2016. My parents took me to go to Mr. Doe's class to review my progress or something, and while we were talking, I could see him eyeballing me the entire time. And let me just preface that I was beyond uncomfortable. You know that feeling when you feel like a piece of meat rather than a person? That's how I felt in this situation. So yeah, anyways, let's just say it was that, but probably 100 times worse. So when the meeting was over and everyone had left, my parents went outside to go to my brother's class, and I was left alone with Mr. Doe, and I tried to leave. He immediately started saying that I had to stay so we could discuss some issues one-on-one. That right there was honestly the nail in the coffin. So yeah, anyway, he started massaging my shoulders, saying my shoulders were as stiff as a 2x4. Let me just preface that right then and there, I froze. I couldn't even think. Keep in mind, I was only 14 years old at the time, so I had no idea what a 2x4 was. So yeah, anyways, after that, he told me he could teach me a thing or two about relaxing and letting the woodwork itself. And honestly, I was thinking nah, wait, hold up. Pause, homie. Just pause for a freaking moment, yo. What the hell? I couldn't believe that my own teacher was really with that Diddy stuff, honestly. It was just oh, hell no. And guys, let me just preface that the night was only just getting started at that point. What comes next, honestly, has me scarred for as long as I'll frickin' live to the rest of my life, for real. So anyways, Mr. Doe proceeded to, the best way I can describe it is he, whipped out his Johnson like he was a Twitch streamer, forgot to turn off the camera. That's just the best way I could describe it. He knew exactly what he was doing, and, bro really had that thing slanging. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm sorry. There's just no better way to put it. So, yeah, anyways, in that moment, I did the only thing I could, like, even think to do, and I started running, But Mr. Doe wasn't having none of that. Let me just preface that he knew that I had just seen that thing in 4K, so, like, the best way I could describe it is he started running at me like a charger from Left 4 Dead. That's just the best way I could describe it. Within, like, 5 seconds, he had me pinned on the freaking ground, And honestly, like, I thought it was a goner. Boy, he still had that thing out, but luckily we were just outside at this point, and, like, let me just preface that, thank God, because then a bunch of parents started tackling this man like he had just robbed a mom and pop Kmart. Like, that's just the best way I can describe it. And guys, it turns out he had been doing this crap to other students for, let me just preface, he legit had evidence of him doing this for like 40 years. And safe to say, he never saw the light of day, like, ever again. So yeah, that's basically it for the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next Storytime video. Peace!